Yo, fellas, today I'm gonna try to explain why I do find it very hard to believe that EA will actually drop a good game next year. If they do, hey, that'd be dope. But I'm gonna explain to you why, man. There's a lot of reasons. I'm gonna show in-game examples and all that. But there's just so much things that there ain't no way they're gonna get it down. There's so much flaws in the game at this point that they've just built upon, built upon, built upon. To erase them all is like a little bit hard to believe. Let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna purely focus on gameplay side, guys, because the servers, we know they ain't fixing that. They say they are. We're putting their, we'll see what happens with that. But gameplay wise, things that are also bad is the gap. Look at this. Look at the gap between your left wing cam strike. Oh, they're not even. No, there's nobody there, guys. All you got, and looks. Here's the thing too, because everybody drops into the box. Now the CDMs have space to move. Before it was, your CB and then that striker and your fullback can handle possibly those two players. But EA managed to find a way to get everybody in the box to then let those guys be free. And the problem here is that the CDM, if you were to get the ball, he can easily do a one-touch pass, goal, low driven. And this is something that's repetitive time and time out. So it doesn't matter what EA do. Even if the servers were perfect, guess what? You still got this in the game where this is the main thing that everybody's doing because they know it's automatic. It's always matter of fact, even if you don't want to play like this, the game is almost gonna force you to give an easy pass because it's there. Now I intercepted it because I'm so used to seeing it over and over again that I premeditate a pass like that already. But it's the most frustrating playstyles to deal with, and everyone's doing it. Again, it's gonna feel the exact same game if that gap in what they do isn't fixed. Simple. Another massive big issue is that the game, the AI intercepts better than you will. There's times where, and I'll show examples. Sometimes they're just tracking back into the position and they take it. It's annoying when they do it sometimes because it's always like, oh, wow, you picked the best time for the AI to just come out of nowhere and steal the ball. Right here, look at this. I can pass early, sure, but if I hold the ball, look at the AI already. Right here coming in to my attacker to take the ball away. Yeah, if I passed early, it would have been through. But why is the AI on alert when there's danger? Like the most precious time. Oh, let me go steal that. That was not him. That was all the AI. It marked on him after the AI won the ball, but that was not him. That whole time, all AI based. Then it switched. But EA, they're clever, man. They know how to find the perfect time to get some AI assistance like crazy. And hold the ball a little too long and the AI's got you. That needs to be manual. 100%. If you're going to bring the player back, don't bring him back stealing balls. Maybe put him back into the position, but don't bring him back doing that. Like, to me, that's a little bit too helping. It's a little bit too much help. Again, another perfect example of what EA does. Right? Steal the ball. Manual work. Look at the AI on the left side. Where's the manual effort on their end? Why is this game so like forgiving at times? There needs to be more effort on everybody's end here. And sure, he's getting into position like they always do, right? But they don't do it. They don't just get into position. They get into the perfect passing lane where my attacker is, so they can steal that ball. and yo, look, that's how EA made their game. They know what they're doing. They're not dumb. They got their ways of trying to ruin the skill gap. Again, if this is not at least a little bit nerfed, then we're always gonna have the same game. Those are fundamentals. If this is always gonna be the thing, and I know people don't talk about it because I don't notice it. The people probably think, oh, he switched on time. No, it's not how it works, man. They're not doing this. This is like old people stuff. This is what the AI is doing now. So that needs to be nerfed. Manual stuff from each side needs to be way more the focus than it is now. Yeah, so again, we're still on interceptions because I think that's one of the most important parts of skill gap. And EA nerfed it. For example, in this situation, I got my striker. I switched to him. This lane is mine. This is mine right here. I'm on it. Look at that. But since passing is also pretty strong, look, bro, the help in that is crazy. this is one of the biggest issues in the game, guys. It wasn't like this before. EA need to make it pretty like decision based. If they want to go for this pass here, I don't know whether he pressed A or triangle. Probably pressed triangle. But still, this here, the way it bent like that, I don't know, man. To me, look at my player wanting to get it, and it's not meant for me anyway. You can tell that this passing lane with a striker or whatever, maybe because I have an intercept. I put intercept on Hurling afterwards, and I noticed a difference. But you can also tell which passes are just being a little bit helped. Because look at him. He wants to get it and can't. Like if he's stuck. Like, I'm not meant to get this ball. Again, they're focusing right now supposedly on manual interception control. I don't care about the control. I care about actually being able to get the ball in the lane. If you can't get the ball in the lane, there's no point in even controlling it. Or how are you going to control it if you don't get it? So, I don't know. Will they fix it? I doubt it, to be honest. This is probably going to be the same thing next year, too. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised, man. And to show you guys, man, it's not just me. It even happens in my favor. This guy should have got this ball, man. Look at him here, right? I held the ball too long. There's no manual pressure as good as it used to be. You can get close sometimes, and you might have some good moments, but in the end, it needs to be buffed highly. This is one of the biggest things that need to be buffed. It will feel like older FIFAs if you can get the manual press done right, but they're not, because people are gonna leave. It's gonna be too hard. You actually have to focus on reading what you're passing into, because people are gonna be in your lanes. They're not gonna do that. All right, moving along. Now let's talk about the work rates of players. Before, the work rates did something. Now everybody's lazy as hell. Everybody's Vinny and Mbappe. So you have to bring everybody back down, and that's a big issue, because in a game where there's so much gaps everywhere, you don't have the time sometimes to bring back a left mid or right mid or left wing or right winger. You know, for example, lost the ball here. This is my left mid, or even possibly I think my left center mid, whatever formation I was using at the time. But let go of him. He actually decided. He decided to just stay up there. The AI is, you can tell this is how they've made the game. As soon as I had my player, you would think I let go of this player I'm using, Roberto, who has a lot of stats defensively. You would think I switch off of him, and he would just probably sit back on in his position and go back to the left or something. No, he's like, let me go up here. What's going on? Like, EA, yo. And then you know, 2 CDMs. How fun. You know, at some point they'll drop way later. It's almost like if everybody has low work rates defensively. Again, roles, all that stuff they did. And in hindsight, if they actually knew how to make a game, it could work nicely. But these guys, no, I don't know. Nothing came out properly. Nothing's working in my opinion. None of this is working at all. It's all random. It's really work with what you got. 2 CDMs. That's why sometimes I like the 4-5-1. The only issue is that they still drop late sometimes, and the gap is massive. But yeah, another one. Are they gonna fix this? Probably not. All right, let's keep going. Speed boosting needs a nerf, but the way EA is gonna have to work around it. They're gonna have to be clever, because short players are already super slow. Their sprint speed is awful. Matter of fact, speed boosting is what helps them kind of stay at least a little bit relevant. If not, everybody's going to be running backwards and turning in circles and passing, which not everybody wants to play that way. Not everybody wants to be Pep Guardiola and wiggle and like, no, sometimes we want to have small players be quick and dribble. That's just how it is. I like to play like that. I know some other people like to as well. So, but I know that in a sense, I've tried base lengthy players with speed boosting, they're not catching me. And I know, and it can be nerfed a bit. Now, another one that for sure needs a nerf is Trivelas. Those, I think it should stay. You're insane. I abuse speed boosting, but I'll tell you what, it can be nerfed. Those that protect Trivelas, y'all suck, guys. I know that needs to be nerfed. It's better than the finesse shot. It has better angles than a finesse shot. How was a composed finish as like a finesse shot with the proper steps and everything, the angle worse than a Travella. No, y'all tripping, man. That thing's gotta go. That one for sure has to go. And if you want it, you gotta have Travella Plus. And still, it should be slightly, if not worse, than the finesse shot, because it's a harder thing to shoot at. Like, unless you want to make it arcadey, sure, let it be exactly like a finesse shot, but don't give it better than that. Okay, moving on. Okay, moving along. I want to talk about Technical Plus and why there's some issues here, guys, with how EA balanced the game. Not exactly the playstyle. I love it and what it does, but it affects the amount of errors people used to make. For example, walking and sprinting was your only option in the past. You guys know when you sprint, you lose the ball. How many times was somebody sprinting in the midfield and you took the ball? That used to be a thing. It ain't a thing no more. Have you ever had anybody sprint right into you plenty of times? Not that much. It used to be so common back then. So not anymore. But that caused an issue. People are losing the ball way less, and the game where pressing is tough. It's really tough, and everything is so nerfed. So now the meaning to run in the midfield and to sprint is gone. So less errors are made, and it's tougher to even press these guys. And technical's kind of the reason why people don't got to sprint. Just hold technical, wiggle, 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 sprint only when you need to now. Before, you can press players easier because they're walking. It's a lot easier when they're walking. Now, or jogging, whatever you want to call it.